Hello, Sylvia here, nutrition and fasting coach. Today I wanted to talk about one of the most common questions I get from women that are wanting to start fasting or are new to fasting, and that is, can I exercise while I'm fasting, in a fasted state? And the short answer is yes, you can. But there are some depends in there, so I'm going to get to that. I'm going to explain this because once you understand what's happening in your body, it's all going to come together and fall into place. So stay with me here. I'm going to go through these sections here. So first I want to talk about why exercising in the fasted state can be incredibly beneficial. So when you're fasting, your insulin levels are low. And when your insulin levels are low, you're giving your body the green light to burn fat for energy, for fuel. And adding movement on top of that, you can supercharge your fat burning. If that's your goal, this is a great way to do that. You're supporting your metabolic health, and you even boost growth hormone at this point. And that can be a very big deal for women over 40. So fasted exercise has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity. And that is a game changer because in perimenopause and beyond, when we lose our estrogen, we become less insulin sensitive. So this is a great benefit for us. But there's a big but here, and this is what nobody tells you when you start this. And that is, if you've been eating a standard American diet, processed foods, refined carbohydrates, sugars, packaged snacks, your body has been running almost exclusively on glucose for fuel. And combine this diet with eating often throughout the day. So that's the standard diet with the 3 meals and a couple of snacks per day, right? So glucose is fast energy, quick in, quick out. And when you eat this way for years and years, your body forgets how to use the backup fuel system. The backup fuel system, which is fat stores, and specifically a molecule called ketones, that system gets sluggish. It gets a little sticky. It can't really make the switch. So when you start fasting and you try to work out on top of that, your body is kind of scrambling. Where's the glucose? You have depleted the glucose. You have depleted your glycogen stores, and your body just struggled to make that switch over to ketones. And that doesn't feel good. That is in a spot where you can experience energy crashes, dizziness, brain fog, even muscle weakness or nausea. So if you experience this, let me know. I have myself, so I know what it feels like. It's not very pleasant. But if that is your experience, I want you to know that it's not a sign that fasting doesn't work for you. It's just a sign that your metabolism hasn't had a chance to adapt yet. So let me break down what happens. So what's actually happening inside your body is that your main fuel source is glucose, which comes from the carbohydrates and the sugars in your diet, and fats, which get converted to ketones. That's your two fuel sources. Think of glucose like the gasoline, fast burning, readily available, but you run out really quick. Ketones are more like a slow burning log on the fire, where you have this sustainable energy that lasts for hours. And the thing is that your body's always gonna reach for glucose first, if it's available. And if you've been given a glucose constantly, it's never had a reason to create ketones. You never had a need for it. So when you all of a sudden cut off the glucose supply, your liver needs to step in and start converting stored fat to ketones. but it hasn't done this in a long time. So it's slow, it's inefficient, and your body's going to feel that. You're going to feel that in your body. So let's talk about a little more high intensity exercise. Things like interval training, heavy strength training, spin classes, where you really push hard. So the thing about these kinds of exercises, it runs almost exclusively on glucose. And your muscles cannot use fat fast enough to keep up with that level of demand. So because you for that kind of intensity, you just need that quick, ready energy that you get from glucose. And the glucose is what's in your bloodstream already. It's stored as glycogen in your liver and in your muscles. So it will quickly grab that and give you that quick energy. But if you're new to fasting and still training and training, you try to produce ketones and you just jump right into high intensity training while fasting, then you're asking your body to basically run a race car on fumes, because your body can't supply that that much fuel that quickly. So it's important to honor where your body is at the moment. So train for where you are. And like if you are in the beginning stages of a fasting lifestyle, then limit your more lower intensity training, your low to moderate intensity training, like walking, yoga, some easier hiking, gentle strength training, those kind of things you can still do in a fasted state, but save the higher intensity for after you have, so in your eating window where you have available carbohydrates and glucose, until your metabolic flexibility has improved. Because studies are starting to show this. There's really not a lot of study on this, but and it's my experience as well. As you become more metabolically flexible, you're able to do more and more high intensity training in a fasted state. So you'll get more output in during your workout when you're in a fasted ketosis, when you really prime that muscle. So don't give up on that if you feel a little sluggish and don't feel great the first couple of times. It is definitely going to get better. Because as you continue to fast consistently, and as you clean up your nutrition, you reduce the refined carbs and sugar, you give your body regular fasting windows, something incredible starts to happen. Your body gets better. It gets more efficient about switching between the fuel sources. And it means that when you have glucose available and you run out of glucose, your body with no trouble at all just switch quickly over to ketones and burn stored body fat for fuel, so that you can wake up in the morning after a 12 to 14 hour fast. You can lace up your sneakers and go for a run, and your body will just instantly switch over and start creating ketones and tap into those fat stores. And the workout that used to make you feel dizzy and depleted, you start feeling better and you start crushing those workouts. So how long does this take though? Well, everyone is different, and so it's going to change. It depends. But what you can expect is the first week or two of fasting, your body's still figuring this out, right? Your glucose supply is going to be interrupted regularly, and this is the adjustment phase. So be gentle the first couple of weeks. Stick to moderate movement during your fasting window. By the 3 to 6 week stage, a lot of women start noticing change. energy crashes during fasting windows get shorter. You start waking up more alert, and your body is starting to get the message. You're starting to feel better, and things are getting easier. And after that, at 6 to 12 weeks, most of my clients are feeling genuinely energized during a fasting moment. And some are preferring to work out faster because they feel more clear-headed that way. And they don't like the feeling of exercising after putting food in their stomach. But consistency is the key. So working on that consistency to build that metabolic flexibility, that's what needs to happen. And you just need the time and the right support for that. I want to just add in a little more about that high intensity. If you are doing high intensity training, competitions, extreme heavy weightlifting, where you really, the results of your workout is very important at that time, then I would still recommend doing that in a fed state to get the energy from glucose as well. But as you're getting more flexible, you will be able to train for that in a fasted state. But the competition itself, I suggest doing in a fed state. All right, so let's make this just some practical how-tos here at the end. What I recommend for women that wants to exercise while fasting. 1, start with lower intensity, walking, yoga, light resistance training. You know, your body can handle that without a full glucose tank. 2, pay attention to how you feel. A little hunger is okay. Dizziness, nausea, extreme fatigue, that's your body asking for fuel. Listen to it. So until you get to that point, get more consistent with your food and your fasting, and then try again. Step 3, stay hydrated. It could be just hydration what you're feeling, so keep that in mind. Electrolytes are your best friend when fasting and moving. So water, sodium, potassium, magnesium, keep them topped up. And number 4, be patient with the process. Feeling sluggish early on doesn't mean that you're failing. It means you're adapting. There's a big difference there. So just trust the process. And number 5, as your metabolic flexibility improves, start experimenting with more intensity during your fasting window. Let your body guide you. You will know when you're ready. All right. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll see if I can answer them for you as I'm closing this up here. But feel free to post questions. So, if you're feeling off during a fasted workout in the beginning, it is normal. It doesn't mean fasting is wrong for you. It means your body, it's on its way to becoming fat burning, metabolically flexible, like it was designed to be. Give it the time, give it the proper nutrition, be consistent with your fasting windows, and I promise on the other side, this adaptation is absolutely worth it. If you're ready to go through this process with real guidance and support, I would love to connect with you. I will drop a link in the comments if you want to take advantage of that. If you have any other questions, I would love to chat. But that's all I had on the topic. I hope I answered some of the questions that people have out there. Let me see if I have anything. Nope. All right, looks like we're all good. All right, I can't get rid of, there we go. All right, so until next time, I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful afternoon.